Yo, yo, yo! Thanks for checking out the channel, everybody. Moose here on Bubs Arcade Fighters, and I wanted to make a quick little video breaking down my Streets of Rage 4 DLC wish list and predictions. I'm sure we're getting DLC in Streets of Rage 4, as Dotemu and Guard Crush Games already mentioned in August that we are getting DLC, but they just asked for us to give them time. And I'm dying for this DLC to come out. Like, I love Streets of Rage 4, man. It was my favorite game of 2020, actually. I'm a huge beat-em-up fan, and this game just nailed it. Like, it has a deep combo system. Every character plays different, pretty much. They got different play styles. If you're a fighting game player like me, and you play this game, there's so much canceling and fighting game mechanics that you can just jump right into. And I'd recommend it to everybody who is into beat-em-ups. This game just pretty much single-handedly saved beat-em-ups. So I'm going to do a quick top 10 list of the top 10 characters I'd love to see as DLC in Streets of Rage 4. I'm going to tell you which ones I think are likely and which ones are long shots. And it was already mentioned that they wanted to put Shinobi from the Shinobi series, so Joe Musashi from the Shinobi series, the classic Genesis game, into Streets of Rage, and you can see him there in the background. He's actually on the pipe there. He makes a cameo. Joe Musashi. That's a ninja face on the pipe there. So I think it's highly likely we're going to get some kind of Sega, some classic Sega character. And Sega's got a awesome library of fighting games and beat 'em ups that they can draw from. Well, not so much beat 'em ups, but they got a ton of classic characters that fans would love to see, I'm sure. So without further ado, my dudes, let's get into it. The top 10 list, with 10 being the least I want in the game, and number 1 being the character I most want in the game. So I'm sure we're being a guest character. So coming in at number 10, we have Max Thunder, everybody's favorite Streets of Rage wrestler. And he's already playable as a Streets of Rage 2 form, but they already have a sprite, so I'm sure we'll be getting Streets of Rage 4 Max as DLC. I'll be shocked if we don't get these Streets of Rage 4 sprites, which they already have. And you might say, well, he's already a boss character, but hopefully they can make it so there'll be a new boss in place of Streets of Rage 4 Max. Like Adabebe or whatever, that other wrestler dude. The classic Streets of Rage boss. There's so many other bosses they could make and put in his place, or he could just fight Max as Max and Evil Max. But yeah, it'd be awesome to see him with some updated moves and some more dynamic gameplay, like maybe a new super. So yeah, I could definitely see Max Thunder coming into the game. So moving right ahead to number 9, this character is actually from a classic fighting game, Sega fighting game franchise, which people are clamoring, fans are clamoring for it to come back, and that's Virtua Fighter. So this character, the Virtua Fighter character that I could see coming into this game, there's a couple that I could see coming into this game, but one I'd like to see at number 9 is Akira. So Akira Yuki. He's pretty much the poster boy of Virtua Fighter. He's like the Ryu of Virtua Fighter, pretty much. His fighting style is Baji-Kwan, or Hakkyo-Ken in Japanese. He has a unique, hard-hitting kung fu style with lots of elbows. I could see him fitting in with the Streets of Rage 4 characters, and I'd love to see him as a 2D sprite in the awesome Streets of Rage 4 art style. Like, I love the art style in this game, and seeing a Virtua Fighter character in this awesome art style, man, people would go nuts, and I would really please the Virtua Fighter fan base. So yeah, Akira, it'd be awesome to see him in the game. So next, moving right along, at number 8, we have another forgotten Sega fighting game from the Genesis era, and it's Eternal Champions. So Eternal Champions has so many awesome character designs that, you know, it was kind of a janky fighting game. I remember renting it with my friends, and we stayed up all night playing it. Had a blast. It had some great music, actually. I was just checking out playthroughs of this game. But yeah, so coming in at number 8, There's many Eternal Champion characters I'd love to see in this game, but one of the ones I'd like to see most is Shadow Yamato, the sexy ninja chick. So Shadow Yamato, she was a corporate assassin for the Black Orchard Corporation. She has the ability to turn into a shadow, and the opponent couldn't hit you. It was pretty cheap. It wasn't the most balanced game, Eternal Champions, but it had a lot of charm with its characters and everything. It was really awesome. So her fighting style employed a lot of teleports, and she used a variety of ninja weapons like shurikens. She was a cool femme fatale character, and I could really see her in Streets of Rage 4. You know, you can never have too many sexy ninjas in a game. That's what I always say. So she also starred in the Eternal Champion spin-off, actually, Experts. It was like a beat-em-up. It's actually considered one of the worst Genesis games of all time. But she was an awesome character. And, I think if we added a Eternal Champions character to this game, it would just make people go nuts. Like, it has pretty much a cult following, Eternal Champions. And this is one of the things that would make people, flip out with their reactions and everything. So moving right along, at number 7, we have another Eternal Champions character, Rax Coswell. He was a cybernetic kickboxer from the year 2345. And he looks cyberpunk. Like, he looks like he's out of a cyberpunk game. And he has a really cool fighting style with a lot of knees, a lot of cool cyber moves. He's a lot like Floyd in Dr. Zan, but I could see him fitting in. Like, I'd love to see his redesign in the Streets of Rage 4 style. So I think it's a long shot that we'd get Shadow Yamato or Rax. A big long shot, actually. But it'd be so cool to get some guest characters that really surprise you in this game. And I'm sure we're going to be getting some classic Sega characters. So moving on to number 6. The character who I'd love to see from Streets of Rage 4, boss character, is Shiva. So Shiva first appeared in Streets of Rage 2 as a boss character back in 1992. He was Mr. X's right-hand man in the Syndicate crime organization. So he's pretty much like an awesome kung fu character, Shiva. He was actually playable in Streets of Rage 3 as an unlockable. And he already has his Streets of Rage 4 sprite and moveset. And you can also play as Streets of Rage 3 Shiva in Streets of Rage 4 already. So I'm sure we'll see him. I mean, fans are really rooting for Shiva to be in the game, and I'd be surprised if he's left out. It'd be awesome to see a shadow clone move turn into a super move that you could do, and he's got his trademark Final Bash move, so it'd be awesome to see him. So moving right along, number 5, we're at the halfway point. My number 5 character I'd love to see in Streets of Rage 4 is Skate, Eddie Skate Hunter. Skate's got an awesome playstyle. He's a fan favorite. So many people love Skate. And shout out to my one of my favorite YouTubers, Major Players. He actually started a campaign to get Skate in the game, and they did some awesome concept art and everything. They did a campaign of a bunch of different concept art, and one of the concepts was he had these cool hover boots instead of his skates, which I think is cool. But I'd love to see him with his classic rollerblades. And they actually already did a design for an unreleased Skate character. It was a girl in rollerblades. She looks pretty cool as well. So I'm sure we'll get a Streets of Rage 4 Skate. I think it's highly likely we'll get a Skate. It's highly likely we'll get Shiva. It's highly likely we'll get Skate, and it's highly likely we'll get Max. It's just the guest characters that I think are going to surprise a lot of people. So the next character I love to see in Streets of Rage 4, coming in at number 4, we have another Virtua Fighter character, a Canadian Virtua Fighter character, Wolf Hawkfield. He was my favorite Virtua Fighter character back in the day, back when I used to play Virtua Fighter 1 in arcades. I just gravitated towards Wolf because He's Canadian, and he had a cool look with his face paint. He's an awesome Native American character, and I'd love to see him in the game. I think he'd look really cool. You know, I love grapplers, and I think he's got a very aggressive move set. I think he'd fit in very well with the game. So it's a long shot, definitely a shot in the dark to get Wolf Hawkfield, but it'd be awesome if we could get him. You know, here comes my suplex, he used to say, I remember. So it'd be awesome to get him in the game. He's got so many cool strikes and grapples, a lot of suplexes, almost like Brock Lesnar with the Suplex City. So coming in at number 3, moving right along, we have Estelle Aguirre. And I'm sure we'll get this character in the game. You know, she's a fan favorite character already with her design. She's already got an expansive move list. Modders have already added her to the game, actually, on the PC. They found a way to make her playable. But I'd love to see her officially in the game. You know, she's got such a cool move set. A fun fact, actually, Estelle was based on a real-life police officer, the illustrator Ben Fiquet. He's the awesome artist behind the whole Streets of Rage 4 art style. It was based on a police officer that Ben saw and based her on this character. So yeah, I think Estelle would be an awesome character. She's already a boss in the game of stage 4 and 7, and she's very heavily focused on in the story. So I'd love to see her in the game playable. Coming in at number 2, we have from a classic, a Sega Genesis classic, Shinobi 2, Joe Musashi. And I'd love to see his Shinobi 2 design. I think it's his most awesome Shinobi design. I was never actually a big Shinobi player, but I definitely want to check out the game now that I've been researching it and everything. Shinobi was such an awesome franchise. It's such a fan favorite franchise. And it's a shame that Sega couldn't give the green light for the licensing to put him in the game. But I have a feeling that might be a ruse, and we might see him anyways. So I'm going to say it's in between highly likely and a long shot. I'm going to say a strong maybe that we get Joe Musashi from Shinobi 2 playable in the game. So coming in at number 1, you know, I've dragged this out with a bit of babbling, but thanks for sticking with me, my dudes. Coming in at number 1, the character I most want in the game. It's going to be a shock. It's going to be a surprise to many of you guys. But it's from a forgotten fan favorite game. Actually, the last game I ever rented from Blockbuster for Genesis, from Comic Zone, Sketch Turner. And you can't tell me Sketch Turner wouldn't fit into Streets of Rage. Like, I think this character would be so awesome. And Comic Zone is such a big cult following and such a cool game. It came out way in the end of Genesis's life cycle. Like, I remember when I rented it, I already had PlayStation. So I was playing this as a kid when I already had PlayStation on my Genesis, but it was still awesome. It was it was such a tough game. It was like a puzzle platforming beat 'em up almost, and you jumped in between comic panels. But Comic Zone was such an awesome game, and Sketch Turner is such an awesome character. His design would fit in perfectly with Streets of Rage, and I could see him having a super move where you like jump out of panels or something, like you tied in with the comics. He's got his pet rat that could run around and bite people, and they could incorporate into his moveset. His moveset was pretty basic in Comic Zone, but I could definitely see him fitting in with Streets of Rage 4, and I'd be stoked if they'd, it would just make the internet go nuts, I think, if they released Sketch Turner as a DLC character in Streets of Rage. So anyways, my dudes, I'm going to shout out some artists in the description that did some awesome concept art that I put into this video. Forgive me for not having your names handy at the moment. But a big shout out to all my subscribers. I really thank you guys a lot. And I hope you're enjoying Streets of Rage as much as I am. And I hope we get some DLC news soon. With my luck, they'll probably have a trailer dropping as I'm uploading this video. Yeah, so I think this game definitely needs some ninjas. It'd be awesome to see Shinobi and be able to play as Shinobi. You could scoot around and dash around, throw shurikens. Sketch Turner would be sick. But let me know which characters you guys would love to see. Sega has so many characters, and apparently Datomu, Lizard Cube, and Guard Crush Games were keen to add some Sega classic characters. So we'll see who we get. It would be awesome to have some more 90s characters. So let me know what characters you guys would love to see. Please uppercut that like button, smash that like button, hit that like button if you enjoy. I appreciate it. I got a small fighting game and beat 'em up channel here, but we're growing, and I got some big plans for 2021. A big special shout out to Severe Outcome, one of my favorite YouTubers. Major Players with a Z. I'll put their channels in the description. Pinpoint Worldwide, B-Dog Studios, Wyatt Earp, shout outs. And I appreciate the support, my friends. So please hit that like button if you enjoy. And I'm stoked to get more DLC for Streets of Rage 4. We're definitely getting it, my dudes. Hopefully sooner than later. I'm guessing probably around March or April we'll see a trailer for this game, is my guess. And my guess is 3 to 5 characters, and some new modes. Hopefully we get it, my dudes. Until then, keep on gaming in the free world, baby. Peace. Take care. Be safe. Later, my dudes. Adios.